Back to the grind. Good day, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We are back where we were last episode. Just me and the black flies hanging out. The goal today is to clean out as many of these bedrock cracks as we can, get them through the sluice box, and then see what we got. Let me give you a shot of where we're gonna start and where we're gonna head. We're gonna start right here in this little hole, and then we're gonna clean out all these little cracks the best we can. We're gonna clean out all these little boil holes that are right here. All these ones, just everything all the way up. We're gonna use the little suction tool. We're gonna add water if we need to. Areas like this though, where you can see all this sediment just settled in. This is an area that does not get a lot of water at all. So when it does get water, it's usually low pressure push off. So I wanna make sure I clean this out real good. And then we're gonna start cherry picking all these little spots and work our way back up to the sluice box, which is set up around the corner. All right, we got that cleaned out pretty good, this whole pocket pretty much. So we're gonna move on down. Nice little pocket in here. Everything just gets trapped in these little pockets. You reach your hand and there's a lot more material than you think there is. It's funny, sometimes when you're digging out these little boil holes, see how they're all rounded off? It's just a catch. So basically, underneath here is solid rock, and it just goes like this and it dives straight in. But I didn't know how deep it was. I thought that was just surface material, but I just keep pulling more and more rocks out of it, so it might be a nice little deep one here. I just keep pulling more and more rocks out of here. This thing's a lot deeper than I thought. So that's about as full as I'm going to put the bucket to run it over to the sluice, because these rocks are so slippery today. I don't want to have a full bucket. I don't want that extra weight, so I'm going to basically go about half buckets at a time. And these are not 5-gallon buckets. These are like 3.5-gallon buckets. I'll tell you what, 5-gallon buckets are great if you're working in an easy area. These little 3.5-gallon buckets, though, are perfect for these tight areas because you don't fill them as much. So when you have those 5-gallon buckets, try to hump a 5-gallon bucket full of dirt over all this stuff. Too dangerous. So these work out awesome. We'll be digging this out too. Looks like a nice area in that. I gotta keep adjusting the flow. I might have too much now. But anyway, the way that this whole thing's running, this is kind of like a little basin area. And I'm just trying to get the sluice to run properly. Looks like it's a little high right now. Running a little better now. The sluice battle. You know my pain. All right, so I got those first areas cleaned out. Now I'm gonna move up all my tools and stuff so that I can start digging out those other areas. Basically, I'm working my way towards the sluice box all day. Tell you, these black flies today are bad. They are horrible. One of my buddies turned me on to these water filtration systems, and these things for 20 bucks, 25 bucks, whatever it cost, they were cheap though. You don't have to lug water around with you all day. This thing's a lifesaver. We got this pretty cleaned out. We're gonna move to that area right there next. We're almost to the sluice box. Getting excited. I'm gonna go make lunch and then get started on the section that's next to the closest to the sluice box. I've been thinking about this section since last week. There's just so many areas to dig out here. I'll be in this area the rest of the day. Santa Fe, rice and beans. So I got this pretty cleaned out. This is my last bucket. Gonna run it through the sluice box, and it's actually starting to rain right now too, so I think I'm gonna call it a day and then make that hike down those slopes. It's funny, we've had a bunch of rain the last week. I saw a bunch of pictures online from a lot of river systems in the Northeast, just flood central. The slopes coming up this morning when I was coming up that hill, they're just, every step I took, my leg would just like go down a foot. So they're pretty slippery, so I gotta take my time getting out of here. Don't forget your bear spray, just in case. It's spring. You don't want to come across a mother and the cubs. Oh, this thing's heavy. Goodbye, Magic Stream. See you again. The sun comes out, the rain stops, and then I run across this big boulder in the middle of nowhere. And I wonder sometimes when I see these, this thing's on the top of this hill. Is this a glacial erratic? How did it get here? Or is it just, was it part of the slopes that eroded away? To the comments in the last video about mountain laurels, I got you covered. I'm starting to wear a trail in here. Butt slide. Let's score it like a 6. It just amazes me how much has grown in the last week from all that rain. This was a lot more passable last week, but it's getting thick. And these flies, they're not nice at all. I'm processing all the material right now, and I'm going to save everybody a minute, and I'm just going to skip right to the results. If you can stick around till the end of the video, there's something I want to discuss real quick, and if I can get a minute of your time, greatly appreciate it. We'll see you in just a second. I get everything panned out and separated. Here's the bigger bits. The two middle pieces, two upper right pieces, and far right piece have a lot of iron on them. I can imagine they've probably been sitting in that area being weathered for a very, very long time. Here's the smaller bits. Thank you everyone for sticking around and giving me another minute of your time. I'm going to try and make this brief. First thing I wanted to say is thank you. The channel just passed 500 subscribers, and when I started this journey 7 months ago, I never imagined anyone would be watching these at all. So thank you so much. The comments, the likes, people subscribing, it really means a lot to me. So 7 months ago, like I said, I started this journey, and I had no idea how long it took to make a YouTube video. And I figured that out through the process. The average video takes about 30 to 40 hours to make. And let me explain that. That's basically driving out to the location, round trip, doing the work while you're there, getting home, processing the material, filming that aspect, and then the editing takes the bulk of that. I run a small business, and I'm a carpenter by trade, and this has been like just a great stress relief making these videos and just having fun. The editing is actually the funnest part. I guess people do like filming, but I don't like filming myself. So I've had camera anxiety for a very long time, so I'm getting more used to it as we go along. So either way, thanks everyone. Really, really appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Be well.